Hey guys, Truth here, coming to you again with Phantom Forces. Earlier today when I did it, I didn't have any voice commentary, but this time I will be. Now this M4 is just epic. It's gonna be a shame when they eventually nerf it. Now, it's a shame. With my hotkey is control, and control is, laying down in this game, so... A lot of games lately have been using control for things, so I might have to switch my, mic key, but... Oh well, for now it's not a big deal. Sometime in the far future, I'm going to be taking away the hotkey anyway, but that won't be for a long time, possibly even a year or so, until I move out of my mom's house. That way, I know there won't be any background noise, because the last thing I need is for someone to just walk in and, swear or just, like, be obnoxious and loud while I'm trying to do a stream. So that's why I have it set to hotkey right now. Now, as of right now, there's no fall damage, so the people that snipe from up far have an extreme advantage, because if they feel like they're in heavy danger, they can just jump down and there'll be no problems for them. It's a nice little spot right there, that hole. Also, as of right now, there's unlimited ammo, so you don't have to worry about wasting anything. Now I just tested it. Unless it's a really long time before it kicks in, I don't think there's a breath limit right now either, so sniping is pretty OP right now. Now, as you've noticed there, well, probably noticed, there is bullet drop in this game, so that's pretty cool, I think, to be noted, for sniping especially. Also, there's a vault function, as you see me, like, vaulting over things. So, if you want to get through windows like that, which would usually be impossible, it'll probably be fixed eventually, but as of right now, you can just vault through those type of windows right now. Like, really small holes. You can just vault right through. Now, if you were watching me earlier, or saw the YouTube video, you'll see that I did test out every weapon and every form of killing in the game. But, my personal favorite is the M4 for a primary, and although you can't choose your secondary right now, I prefer the M9 pistol. I think they're both extremely overpowered and will probably be nerfed in the future. Now, as of right now, there's no leaderboard at all, which I wish there was. I mean, I know he considers it Baseplate stage, which in the description means like not even alpha or early alpha. It's just, base plate. But I wish there was at least, kills and deaths just for this one match alone. That would be pretty interesting to see. I understand why there isn't, though. I mean, it's not gonna matter anyway. I really haven't tested out knifing all too much, so you'll see me trying to knife people a lot, just to try to see what it is. Earlier I was knifing people and it was taking 2 shots, but I think if you get a headshot it's only one, and someone else earlier told me that if you get a knife from behind it's also only one, so I guess we'll figure that out. I don't know if this is going to stay an actual map for the game, but you have to be really cautious of your surroundings, because as you can see, it's very easy to flank in this game. They were expecting me to come up that ramp, and it only took me like a second and a half to get right around them. I didn't mean to hit the grenade button there, but oh well. Now, sprinting is a little weird right now. There's no physical meter that you can see, although, as far as I can tell, there is a limit to how much you can sprint, and for some reason it does carry on over after you die. So sometimes, if you've been sprinting a lot before you die and you spawn, you won't be able to sprint for a while. So yeah, that time it took 2 knives, so guess we'll see further on in the video what it really is, because I plan on knifing a lot every chance that I get. Even if I know that I'll probably die, I want to try it. See, that time was just one knife, but I don't know if that counted as like a headshot, or maybe he was already low on health. I don't know. Well, yeah, you just saw that happen. Be careful where you lay down, I guess, because some parts of the map will send you right under. Alright, so, unless it has something to do with laying down, now I know going up behind someone and knifing doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna get one stab to kill them. I'm just trying to figure out all the angles here. The more that I know, the more that you guys will know if you watch. Yeah, as far as I know, there's absolutely no limit on how far you can hold your breath. Well, how long, I should say. I wonder how far the map goes. I'm gonna try to go over to that hill over there. I guess there's an invisible wall right here. Now, sniping seems really smooth in this game, which I love. It's not like Call of Robloxia, where certain ledges, if you tried to snipe over, like your bullets just wouldn't hit, and every now and then, if you aimed literally directly at them, it would still miss. It's not like that at all here. Although you do have to counter in the fact that there's bullet drop. So, if you do aim directly at them, you will miss sometimes if they're far away. You have to aim a little bit above them. Oh wow, you can actually keep your knife out if you hold in F. I'm gonna try this out. Just run around with the knife. Well, yeah, that was a headshot and that was one shot, so. Another one-shot kill. I'm gonna see if maybe sneaking up behind people and getting them right in the back will one-shot. Now, that was one shot and it looked like I got him right in the back, so I guess that is possible. Getting him from behind may be a one-shot too. Although he could have already been low on health, so I think I still need to test this out a little more. Alright, now that was a definite right in the back from behind, and he obviously had full health and it didn't kill him, so I think it's safe to say that that was, it's confirmed that that was false, what I said earlier about what someone else told me about how knifing him from behind will be one shot. Although, I'm pretty positive that we can confirm that a headshot with the knife, a head stab, is one shot kill. Now, just like the last game, if you're crouched, you have better accuracy, and if you lay down, you have the best accuracy you can get with that gun. So, that is confirmed. As you can see, like the way I'm shooting now, and the way the crosshair is smaller, and then when I get up a little bit, it recoils a little more. When you stand up, and it's kind of spread out like crazy. But the M4 altogether is a really accurate gun. And also, if you hit, not that button, that was grenade G, V, you can switch. Like, this is burst mode. So you can do that, burst mode right now. And then hit it again, this single fire. So, there is a variant for certain guns. I know the M4 is one of them. I'm pretty sure all of the guns right now, besides the sniper and the shotgun, have this variant, and obviously, not the sidearms, but I'm probably wrong on that. Now, if you are good at clicking really fast, I do recommend keeping it single fire, because even if you spam it a lot, it stays at the single fire accuracy. As you can see, I was just testing that out over here. I'm clicking it relatively fast, and it's still, it's right on. So yeah, I recommend doing that, because if you switch it to multi-fire and you click that fast, it's kind of spread apart, even if you do try to keep it semi like that, like only, there is a difference, there's a clear difference, so just throwing that out there. Also, this weapon does not have a burst fire option, as you can see. This is another gun. It's only semi-auto and full auto, there's no burst, which, isn't a big deal. I personally don't like burst anyway, but I was just testing it for you guys to see on the M4. Now this gun's pretty accurate either way, although I do notice that the single fire thing still works with keeping it complete accuracy. But I don't really recommend that for this gun, because this gun's pretty accurate as it is anyway. But for the AUG A1, I highly recommend it. Gonna get a few kills in a single fire, just to test it out. Now, I definitely recommend fully auto for the AUG A3. And I know I've tested out every weapon earlier today already, but I'm going to do it again, and I have a lot more time, so this time I'm going to go more extensive into it. Like as you see, testing out every fire option and things like that. Testing out like the accuracy, stuff like that. And this time you'll be able to hear my opinions too, so I'm just going to go through them all. That includes secondary, but right now I'm just focusing on the primary weapons. Now this one only has a single and burst as well. I mean a single and fully auto as well. Now this is actually surprisingly accurate. I was expecting a lot more spread from this weapon, but the kickback, like the recoil, is actually really nice on this gun. There's barely anything at all. And as you can see, that's even at far distance. It's still hitting on pretty well, so it's a pretty decent gun. I don't think I used it much earlier, but I'm going to use it more now to see how it does with actually killing. This is another gun where it's not really worth it to keep it on semi. This gun does well on fully, so you should just keep it on fully automatic, in my opinion. Now keep in mind that all of this, it's all subject to change, because this is a very, very, very early stage of the game. Now one thing to note, like about that guy, like for instance that guy that just then, there is a force field in this game, but it's invisible, so you won't really know if someone has a force field. The only way you'll know is clearly, as you saw, I was shooting him direct on, and there was absolutely no hit markers, and, he should have died if he didn't have that force field, but obviously he did. I'm not really sure how long it lasts, because there's no real way to tell, unless you actually had someone here willing to help you test it, but as of right now, there's no clear way to test it. But there is a force field, so just keep that in mind. Now, I'm not 100% on this, but it seems as though there is no shooting through walls to get people, as there was in the old game, Call of Robloxia 5. Although, most of the stuff that's in this map is all like concrete or cement or whatever, so that could also be the factor. But as far as right now, I have not been able to shoot anyone through any walls, so just keep that in mind. That could just be, like I said, because of the terrain that I'm in, but, it's always good to just know that kind of things. Also, one thing that I haven't tested that I just thought of now, I've tested all the fire rates, but I haven't really tested just regular hip fire. So I think I'm gonna test that, and also, shooting, standing, crouch, and laying down too. I'm gonna try that out. Not right this second, but after I'm done with all the guns doing what I'm doing now, I'm gonna go back and try that out as well. Right now I'm gonna test this out single fire, just for demonstration purposes. Now, this weapon here actually has no fire modes at all. It's only fully automatic. So, yeah. You cannot do single fire or burst on this weapon. It's only fully automatic. Now, personally, I'm not really a big fan of this weapon at all. I mean, it's pretty slow, doesn't really have much damage output, and the accuracy is pretty much the same as the MP5K, maybe a little bit more accurate. And there's no fire modes, so out of all the guns here, this has to be my least favorite. Although it's still not too bad of a gun. Not too bad. But compared to the other ones, yeah, there's no real point in using this one. Now, I'm still not completely sure how the whole knifing thing works. All I completely 100% know is that it'll either be one shot or two. Now it seems as though this thing works really well with hip fire, so this is possibly what this gun could be used for, is, you know, close quarter combat hip fire. But other than that, it's not really my type of weapon. You guys might enjoy it, but I don't really enjoy it. Now this is clearly just one shot, so there's no need to go into fire modes, obviously. Alright, now I already pretty much figured that it wouldn't, but this weapon does not work well outside of close quarter combat. So, if you're going to use this, just make sure you're pretty close to the person. Alright, now, there is sliding in this game. It works exactly the same way it worked in Call of Roblox CF5. You have to be sprinting and then just tap C, but instead of lying all the way down, you just slide into the crouch position. So it's not like a dive like before, it's just kind of like a slide to your knees. Alright, now I'm gonna go back and try out each weapon that I already have in a hip fire mode, just to, give that a test. Now, I have no idea what kind of weird glitch this is, but it seems as though I have a guest connected to my head. Now it seems as though I have one of my teammates connected to my head. Oh, it's still the guest. He's connected to me for some reason. But he's an actual person, he's not just a model, and he's trying to play still too. Now I have to say, of all the games I've ever played, I don't think I've ever experienced a glitch quite like that. Another glitch that I've noticed, I didn't say anything the few times that it happened, is when you kill someone who shoots you and hurts you badly. Now, it usually happens with a sniper. I think that's the only time it's happened to me, but I'm not 100% on that part. You freeze for a second, as if you were, like, about to hit the die screen. You can jump around, but you can't move, and then it lets you move again. You guys have seen that earlier, I didn't really say anything about it, I didn't bring it up. Alright, now, so hipfire isn't really effective for the M4. It's a great gun, but only if you look down the sight. Now, I know this is kinda silly, but I'm gonna test it out for the sniper too. You know, maybe if you're in close combat, it could actually be useful. I guess we'll see. Alright, so I just found out there's also a dive as well, just like in the other game. But it's, you hold in shift, you know, to sprint, and then you press X, and you'll do a complete dive. So, I guess there's a slide and a dive. That's the slide. And that's the dive. Pretty interesting. You got both of them, so whatever you want to do at the time. Alright, so, hip firing with the intervention isn't really, you know, it doesn't really work. If you really need to, and if you're in that kind of position, you have to, just, you know, do a little quick scope like that. Because quick scoping, I haven't tried it on a person yet, but it looks like it would work. So quick scoping is actually really effective in this game. Takes a little bit getting used to, but it's not bad at all. Now, just to keep in mind, a little reminder, there is bullet drop in this game, so especially while sniping, just keep that in mind. You might have to aim up a little bit above their head. Now, this gun looks like it would be really effective hip fire close range, but looks can be deceiving, so let's check it out. Alright, so I think we've established that hip fire at, close to semi-medium range is really effective with this gun, as I predicted. So I'm gonna go and, get myself killed and then test out the next one. So this gun's not too bad hip fire. I think the A1's better personally, but it's definitely not bad. Now I've tested out just about everything I can think of. Every gun, every fire mode, all the hip fire. Tested out quick scoping. I tested out the sprint. I tested out the sliding and diving. I've tested out the sniper breath. That seems to be unlimited. Sprint, now that I've tested it out more, kinda seems to be unlimited, but it does like stop you every now and then, but like in a kind of weird way. So I think that might just be a glitch. Um, Grenades, knife kills, but the only thing that I don't think I have tested is killing with each gun in a different stance, like standing, crouching, and laying and going prone. So I'm gonna do that right now, real quick, and then yeah, I pretty much have done everything that I can think of. Alright, so there was no way that guy had a force field. He was just glitched into the ground in a weird way. I couldn't kill him at all. Oh, by the way, when that person killed me just then, that glitch where I couldn't move happened. So I'm changing what I said earlier. I think it happens when you're about to die, and the game registers as if you died even though you didn't, so you freeze for a second. And then, if you do end up living, it comes back. But obviously, I didn't live that time, although my controls did lock up like a second or two before I died. So just keep that in mind, keep that noted. Alright, I'm gonna try killing with prone in this weapon now. Alright, so, prior to what I said earlier, you can shoot through, certain things in this game. Because as you can see, I was shooting through that sign, I was getting a few hit markers. It just, depends on the material that it is, I guess. Like, obviously, you can't shoot through that cement, but that billboard up there, you can shoot through. Because that's, I don't know what it's made out of, but it's, you know, I don't know, it's easier to penetrate. One thing I just thought of that I hadn't tested is hip fire in each position, but I'm not going to demonstrate kills doing it because, I'll be here all day thinking of new things to test, but I'll just, I'll show you by shooting some walls and you can see where the bullets would hit if you were to hip fire while you're, like, prone and crouched. I mean, it doesn't really make a huge difference, honestly. I mean, look, that's normal, crouch, prone. It's kind of the same either way. I completely forgot about sidearms. I'm gonna start doing that now, too. Um, After I'm done doing the different stances, I'll do that. Now, there's only 3 sidearms. One of them I don't need to test because it's the shotgun, which you already saw anyway. That sometimes comes up as a sidearm. It's completely random what sidearm you get. It could be the M9, the M1911, or the shotgun. So you're gonna have to work with me when I do decide to test them because I might be getting like a lot of them in a row. Because that kind of seems like how it works. You get it a few times in a row, and then it switches to a different one, and you get that a few times in a row. It's another glitch I noticed a while ago. I haven't said anything about it until now. You know, people walking around with their head like really crooked looking. It's kind of weird, but it doesn't really affect much. Now this could be a really big problem here. Shoot right through walls. So, yeah, that's another pretty major glitch because there's literally absolutely no way that they would be able to shoot me back unless they came up from behind me. So that's kind of pretty major, honestly. I don't think it really makes a difference at all for the sniper. I think when you're looking down the scope, I think it's the same no matter what stance you're in. I don't see a difference personally. Hip fire, on the other hand, in crouch and laying down with the intervention, does seem like it makes a pretty big difference. So, there's that. Which also means it probably makes a difference with quick scoping. I'll try that out right now. Yeah, I don't think it makes a difference, so I'm not gonna try anymore. It's actually taking quite a while, so I'm just gonna demonstrate by shooting this tower from now on. Or shooting whatever. It's taken way too long to demonstrate with actual players. So you can see there's a pretty good difference between standing up and crouching. Now I'm gonna try going prone. Yeah, that's a huge difference. Alright, now I'll try hip fire for you guys. Do it on something easier to see. It's hard to see where the bullets actually go with this gun. So yeah, it actually does make quite a difference in this gun. Honestly, I don't see a difference at all in this gun while you're doing it. Maybe hipfire will be a different story. Figure I might as well show you with this thing real quick too. Uh, the different stances and stuff. It's pretty much the same either way. Zooming in at least. I don't know about hipfire. Yeah, so there is a noticeable difference. Now this gun is a really nice gun, but only if you have really good accuracy. I mean, it's really strong, and it's a insanely accurate gun as it is, but it doesn't have many bullets, so you need to be, you need to have your own accuracy down, you know, to be able to get them shots in, or else, you know, you're not really gonna do too well with that, pistol. So there's not really too much of a difference in that one while you're zooming in. Hip fire, however, there is a pretty good difference. Oh, perfect. Now I can test this out. See, this is a pretty nice pistol too. Both pistols are pretty good. This one seems like it takes a little bit more ammo, but it does. It has a bigger clip, so. Now, this is another extremely accurate weapon, but unlike the M1911, it seems like it actually makes quite a difference whether or not you're, crouching or lying down. Because as you can see, this is pretty much completely perfect accuracy when you're lying down. Completely. The other gun seems like it was about the same accuracy no matter what, but as you can see, standing up, do it real quick. It's a little bit far apart. Crouch down, it's a little bit closer in, but then you lay down, it's nearly perfect accuracy. So this one actually does make a difference. And this one also seems as though it's more accurate than the other gun in general. Not by too much, because they're both really accurate, but a little bit. It's a little bit more accurate. We'll try hip fire now. Now, it doesn't seem to make much of a difference, hip fire. Here's another glitch that I've noticed before, but yet again, I didn't really say anything. Every once in a while when you shoot, because it uses a raycast script, from what I can see at least, and every once in a while the raycast accidentally comes up yellow, and it actually shows, instead of being just an invisible raycast. I mean, raycast is a very effective script for guns. I mean, it's my favorite way of doing it. Almost every like clan uses raycast. You know what I mean? Bullets aren't really anything special. I don't really like bullets. Raycast is really good. Although, I think the intervention uses bullets because of the way the bullet curve and the bullet drop, and just the way it's a little bit slower. It's not instant. So I think the intervention uses bullets, but I'm pretty sure all the other guns use raycast. Although I could be completely wrong about that. Just a quick reminder, this is made by the same person who made Call of Robloxia 5, Roblox at War. This is the new game that he's working on, which I can already tell is going to be 10 times better. I mean, they call it Baseplate stage. It's even before early alpha. It's like really, really, really early into development, and it's already my favorite over Call of Robloxia 5. I like it a lot better.
It seems like this gun actually makes quite a difference between your stance. If you're laying down and you just lay on completely all the way, it's actually really, really accurate. Let me just find a material that shows up better. Seems like nothing wants to show up for this gun, so it'll be extremely hard to show you. You know what, I'm just gonna take the time in and show you on actual people. It's not going to be as effective because, like I said, you can't see where the bullets actually go, but it'll give you an idea. You already saw, well, maybe not those of you who are watching right now, but in the video, I already showed regular hip fire, so I'm only going to show crouch and prone for player kills. Wow, I actually found a material that it works on, so I'll just show you that way since it's easier. Yeah, so this gun actually makes quite a difference. This is a pretty accurate gun as it is. Close quarters, it's amazing for hip fire, but if you're crouching or prone, it's even better. Alright, so the shotgun seems to make absolutely no difference for, looking down the sight at different stances. In fact, the shotgun doesn't seem to make a difference no matter what. From completely standing up hipfire to laying all the way down, looking through the sight, there's practically no difference at all. So I guess it doesn't matter how you use the shotgun and in what kind of way you use the shotgun, it's always going to shoot the same way at the same kind of, rate, at the same kind of spread. So I guess that means you don't have to worry about really looking down the sights unless you want to like completely make sure that you're aiming right at them like that. But either way, it's not going to make a difference. See what I mean? Either way, it's going to be the same thing. Which kind of makes sense. I mean, it is a shotgun. It doesn't really make a difference in real life, so... At least for spread. Slug's kind of different, but... Alright, well... I pretty much tested every single thing that you can think of. If you're just tuning in now, I tested, sprinting, holding your breath while sniping. I've tested every single gun in every single way, pretty much. Hip fire, looking down the sight, crouching, laying down, all that stuff. I tested out sliding, laying down, diving. Pretty much everything. Grenades, knife kills. So there's all the secondary weapons. There's really nothing at all I can test anymore. I found a few weird glitches, but other than that, there's nothing I can really do, so I'm just gonna start playing the game normally. That's weird. None of the grenades were, like, throwing. That was weird, but oh well. This game's really buggy, but for a game that's in such an early development state, I would say this game's pretty amazing. Alright, well this is being recorded too, so I'm gonna end the YouTube video here, but I'm gonna keep streaming, so just stay tuned, guys. I'll be switching games in a minute, but those of you on YouTube, be sure to follow me on Twitch for live gameplay, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And thank you guys for watching. Bye.